It is great to be here. Welcome, everyone. I have got way too much information tonight. That is very typical for me. I just keep going and I want more and I want more and I learn more. I learn more as I'm working on all of this. So let me know that you can hear and that you can hear me and that you are here, and we'll get started. Oh, look at the people here. Yes, there's my chat. Rainy day, Florida, New Zealand. Hello, ladies. Hello. Washington, Gwen, I hope you're doing better. Howdy. Yeah, so I do have a winner for the Peggy giveaway. It ended last night at midnight. So I just want to tell you who that is. That person is Yvonne. Now, I don't want to say last names. I don't know if she's going to be on here tonight, but Yvonne, if you hear your name, I don't think there's but a couple of you. Yvonne, it starts with an M, the last name, and you are in California. Anyway, that's the Peggy giveaway. You've won that. So we turned right around because we're kind of running out of time to get all this done, and we're doing a Serger giveaway. And the Serger giveaway will go through the end of October. So those who didn't get patterns or bias rulers or whatever can enter into the Serger giveaway. And this will be, I think this is our last chance to get it all done. All right. Hello. Can you all hear me okay? Fully recovered. Oh, that's great. Gwen, great news. Great news. A little worried about you there. Okay, good. Can you all hear me? I guess you can hear me, yes? Oh, I can hear you up here. Yes, perfect. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, so tonight, what we are going to talk about is layering. Layering, and I think selfishly this is for me because I'm a summer girl. I am a 90 degree, 100 degree, I'm a summer girl. And when it dips down to 89, I'm cold. So I thought to myself, we were in New York, and there was one of the ladies in New York. She's a retired ex-pilot. She's a retired pilot. She lives in Minnesota. She rides her bike all year round. And I'm thinking to myself at dinner, you're from Minnesota, you ride your bike all year round. The latest I've been ever to Minnesota is November because it's frickin' ridiculously freezing. And she's riding her bike, and I'm complaining that it's too cold to ride my bike when it's 70 degrees. So she starts giving me tips on how to ride in the winter, because I'm determined to ride my bike. I really have this love of riding my bike, so I decided I'm going to ride my bike year-round, and what I need to do is just layer, and I need to dress appropriately. So if you're cold, it's because you're inappropriately dressed. Okay, that's the message that I'm sending to my brain. Also, what I'm doing is I'm swimming. The water's down and my pool is down to 63 degrees and I'm still swimming in it. I'm determined I'm going to reset my body temperature to where I can endure the cold. That's my goals. However, when it comes to dressing, I don't want to reset anything. I just want to pile it on. I just want to layer. So I thought I'm really going to learn to layer. I'm going to teach you all, and the only way to teach you all is to learn it myself. So I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun learning about layering, about how to layer, etc., etc. So the first thing we're going to do is layers are critical for anything. I actually tried to figure out, so if our body temps are 95 degrees roughly, and it's 60 outside, how many layers do you need to put on? The problem with all of this is there's no answers to that because it depends on everybody's own personal kind of body temp and how hot we are and how cold we are and all that kind of stuff. So it has differences, but I am going to teach how each of you can do it for yourself, okay? All right, so let me just cool enough now for layering. It is, which is why we're having this layering lesson now. And I'm just hopeful. I learned some stuff, so I'm just hopeful you will learn some stuff. Love your top. Oh, thank you. I love this top too. Love this top. Okay, and partly I did it because we're going to talk about layers. So this is my layers. Okay, so let's get started here. And I'm going to start off with theory. Theory is the first thing we want to do, and then we're going to talk practicality. So I'm going to give you 4 rules of theory, and then we'll go into the practical application of those 4 rules. That's kind of how I divided it up. So we're going to start here, and we're going to recognize that we need a base layer. I know y'all know this, everybody knows this, but I think, and for myself, I get lazy. Like, I don't want to do a base layer. I don't need a base layer. You need a base layer. So it's 90 degrees here, during the day. And I was practicing this over the weekend. And so I decided to wear a base layer and see if it made a difference. And oh my gosh, I was miserable. I was so hot, I couldn't believe it. So that gave me a lot of joy in knowing that base layers actually work. So I gave you a couple pattern numbers. Obviously, you can change the base layers to be whatever you want. And I gave you some fabric numbers because right now some of these fabrics are really well priced, and you can make your own. We know remember there were winter silks, and there's all kinds of fancy ones, but they're very, very expensive. I remember winter silks, I think they went out of business, but they're like little t-shirt was like $100, like $100 for the pants. It was real expensive. Just doesn't need to be that expensive. This is a great way to practice your sewing. You could make a muslin and if it works out, you wear it, or if it doesn't matter, you wear it for your base layer. So this is a great way to do a base layer. So number 1, create a base layer. There's some fabrics up there, and there's some ways to create those base layers to get them to be exactly what you need them to be. Okay? Okay. Next, what we're going to do, sorry, my nail is not switching. We're going to, because we don't just want to be warm. We want to be warm and look great at the same time. We're going to be chic. So in order to be chic, our scarves, our socks, and our sweaters are going to match. Now, I get that you're not going to see the socks. I get it. But you're still going to want them to match. That's just a little thing we're going to do, because really it's your scarves, your shoes, and your sweaters. Okay, and we'll go through and I'll show you examples of all of this, okay? So we're going to have our 3 S's. Our 3 S's, remember this is theory, our 3 S's are going to be in alignment. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to there's a concept of 3 layers typically that's done, but we're going to take you to 4 and even 5 just because it depends on where you're living and how cold it is. But keep in mind that you want to have 3 layers. You want to at least have 3 layers, and that's on top of your base layer. Now again, it depends on how cold where you live is, but I really do believe if I dressed like this, I would never be cold, because actually what you all may not know is I'm a skier. I am a snow skier, and I love to snow ski, and I like to go to the 12,000 elevation where it's like 5 degrees, and I'm never cold. And I'm never cold because I'm so afraid of being cold. I layer all that stuff on, but it works. And I love to ski. I just love to ski, and it works. So I know in my brain it works. I just have to bring it into everyday dressing and recognize it's not a pain. It's easy to do. Okay, so remember we're going to have at least 3 layers. Okay, so this is the next thing we did, and we put these actually up today. I'm pretty excited about these. Is you want to have gloves. Every part of your skin that shows, think of your body as a light bulb. And every part of your light bulb that's not covered, the heat's going to get lost. It's going to go out into the atmosphere. You don't want it. Where you want it is you want it kept inside. So gloves are important, and tectonic gloves, whatever they're called, is really important too, because otherwise, if you don't have them, you have to take your gloves off and your hands are exposed. So guess what we have? We have tectonic gloves. Okay, they're on the fabric page. And I got these, Miss Salyers, Donna Salyers, And they're black. Now, these are blanks. We're just having the blanks. She put fur on these, and she sent me a pair with the fur on them. So we actually have instructions on how to sew the fur. There's a few boxes of fur left, but this would be an amazing Christmas gift, holiday gift, Hanukkah gift, whatever. Great gift. Because this, when you look inside here, it's just serged on. It's just stitched together. And then the fur is folded over, and the gloves, you don't have to take them off. So I look forward to having some that are blank, that are just gloves, because sometimes you don't want all the fur on there. And then sometimes you do. But these are black and ivory, and they actually work. I can turn on my flashlight. See, can you all see my flashlights on? With my gloves on. I don't have to take them off. Is that cool? I couldn't believe they work, because I don't really, I did go through the science of why they work. I talked to Donna, yada, yada. I get it. But the point is, they'll keep your hands warm. And even if you had a glove over them, if it was really cold climate, you could just take off one layer and still have this base layer on. But they're made in the USA. They're adorable. Again, the blanks, they're called glove blanks, are just the top part. They're all finished. They're ribbed at the cuff. They're ribbed here. They're black and ivory. They're adorable. And then you can just sew the fur onto them and have this adorable little pair of, isn't they cute? So you got to have more than one pair, because you want a pair with fur, and then you want some pairs without fur. And then remember, you can sew other things onto the top. There are all kinds of fun that you can do with these things. So we want gloves that are phone touch. That way we don't take our gloves off. We don't have to stand there and freeze our hands. Hats, all of those things. You want them. Cover up. Cover. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let me just check questions and make sure we're okay. Full wetsuit for water temperature less than 65. Honest, you guys, I have wetsuits, and I would say this, typically I would say the same thing, but I decided that I wanted to see how cold I could go into the water, and so I ride my bike, I get done riding my bike, and I go swimming. And the water temperature right now, my pool is 63. So what I decided is, don't look at the water temperature, and don't go in slowly. I'd always go in like one step at a time. I just go in. I just go. And that makes a big difference, because I don't know why, but it makes a big difference. And I have so enjoyed it. So I'm hoping I can get down to 59. Although my son said to me today, there's people who get hypothermia at 60. So I'm going to check all that out to make sure I'm not, putting myself in danger. Okay, so, what we do know about temperatures and all of those things is how we get acclimated to it, and how we get what we're used to, where we grew up. I think all of those things make a difference. Okay, so now we're going to start looking at some outfits. And this is really fun, and this is really probably way too much. But what I wanted you to see is this is actually with a dress on. So with a dress on, you see the base layer, and then you see the little black turtleneck on top, and then the dress goes over that. The socks go, remember they match, they go into that. She puts on a blazer over the jacket, a coat over the blazer. She puts a little tie on it so that we get some shaping. It's not so boxy looking, and some black boots and a black bag, and we're out the door. Is this adorable? I love this. I love this step by step. I took all these photos, snapshots, and put them together so you could just see that progression. Okay, good. Let's see another one. And then I've got some for you that I did with my clothes. Okay, first one you can see, layers 1 and 2. Now she's got, she's doing different colors. In this case, she's doing like a cream, the browns, Sherpas, all that kind of stuff. So you see layers number 1 and 2. Layer number 3 is just sweats. But sweats, you want to be comfortable in sweats. And even what I've noticed is I always thought that if it's thick enough, you'll be warm enough. But if it's thick, it's not any warmer. The layers are what's important, and it makes a lot of sense. But the layers are what's important. What I want us to think about is the color coordination. Notice there's the Sherpa, the browns underneath the Sherpa. She capped it off with those cute little Sherpa boots, and she's good to go. Okay? Next, black and white. She's got her base on. She throws on a cute little cardigan that's black and white. It pops the color. The shoes are going to match the black and white. The coat going over is solid black. Most of us have a black winter coat, so black and white is a very easy theme to follow. And then also we have the end picture. So you see, notice again, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. 4 layers, you guys, and it looks amazing. Okay, we're going to look at this last one. Again, 4 layers and a scarf. So you got your base layers, turtle shirt goes over, warm-up goes over that. So by the time you've got your warm-up on, you've already got 3 layers. Coat goes over that, scarf goes over that. And she took a bag that matched her blouse, you know, so that the whole outfit looks color-coded. We could argue that all day long. Doesn't make a difference. The good news is, just think about colors. We already plan a wardrobe, and we already plan a wardrobe that is kind of a coordinating wardrobe. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to think about this as we do it. Okay, so we're ready to play. We're going to play some here today. Okay, so I'm starting off with the denim that I made is the new pant. It's 34.26, and the denim is 85.63. Okay, so those are my pants, 85.63, and I did 34.26. Love these pants. I've made, I don't even know how many pairs, and I just love them. So that's what we started with. It's a denim, stretch denim. Okay, so my shirt then is 85.73. This is that Dolce & Gabbana. I love this knit. It's a viscose. And underneath it, I already have my base layers, recognizing that I'm inside and I knew I was going to sweat, but I wanted to be authentic. So I have my base layers underneath both of these. Okay, so then remember that I made this a little bit ago. I made this black fuzzy vest. Well, I call it fuzzy, but it's that, yeah, it's fuzzy. Let me see the fabric. Hang on. Oh, I don't know the fabric, you guys. I don't know the fabric. Okay, but there we go. So I have on now a vest, and then I can just put my coat right over it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and then of course my scarf, my hat, and my gloves. It's wonderful. I love it, and I think it looks fashionable. I don't think it looks, I guess one of the things I've always thought about is if you're going to if you're going to layer all that much, like what does it matter? Because the clothes underneath can, like my shirt still shows. And one of the reasons I made this shirt or this pattern, it's it's 225. It's the new pattern, is because I'm going to layer it under a vest, and the sleeves are gathered here, and I'm going to wear the vest open, and there's gathers down the front. So I thought the features of this blouse, this top, whatever, would still show. So I thought it would be really fun. So keep in mind, you know, what I love about sewing is there's so many things we can think about and change. And as we sew more, we just think about more details, and we get better and better and better. And I just love that. Okay, so I'm going to check back and just see if there's any questions. I love the layering. This makes me want to move to a cold climate. You know, it's funny, I grew up in Miami, and I'll never forget, you know, because I mean, once a year, I think we got to wear sweaters. That's not Miami, Ohio. It's Miami, Florida. But I remember when the stores would change seasons. It didn't matter that it was 90 degrees outside. The seasons would still change in the stores. And I remember trying on all those sweaters and thinking, like, I can't wear any of this stuff. Like, I want to live in a place that has seasons. So that's why I'm in Dallas. And if you notice, it barely has 4 seasons. But so Sherry, I feel your pain. I suppose using the base layers, you would need to go up in sizing. Yes and no. So I didn't go up in my jeans because, you know, the base layer is very thin. So just think that through. I mean, just think it through how you're going to do it. I'm only having 2 sleeve layers because I recognize I'm warm enough. I only need 3 sleeve layers. I'm sorry. I have my base underneath, my top, my shirt, my t-shirt, whatever you want to call it, and then my coat. I don't have a cardigan underneath. Okay? All right. If we learn to wear multiple layers, we could go out traveling. Oh, wait, I got it. Let me read this. We could go traveling, flying, and not need to check a bag. I don't ever check a bag. I go to Italy for 5 days. I don't ever check a bag because you just layer it, you wear it all on the airplane, and then you take it off and it becomes pillows as you're flying over, or blankets, and then you have your whole wardrobe on. I can't tell anybody my deep, dark secrets, you guys. We moved into a new house 3 years ago. I've hardly had to wear my sweaters at home. Yeah, you're in southern Texas. Okay, so that's one outfit. I wanted to show you these different outfits because I think I really wanted you to look fashionable, but be warm. I wanted both. And so I kind of put some thought into these ideas. Okay, so this is Coos jacket 96, but underneath I put a blouse, which is 600, collared blouse, whatever. So it comes out of the zipper. And then you have your base layer underneath. So remember, that's already 1, 2, 3, and the cape is 4. So this is the cape that goes with the pants. And it's the same fabric, same monochromatic look, because that monochromatic look is amazing. And yet you can take the cape off, and this underneath is still fitted and wonderful. So keep in mind that as you do stuff like that, we can match capes to blazers, and you can get that monochromatic look that is so beautiful. You guys remember I did this. This fabric is 8576. Well, I'm out of sorts. I'm out of time. I'm out of order. Okay, so in this one, I have the base layer, underneath. Then I had a turtleneck. This is 125, and it's that black. It's that black viscose knit, and I think when we're doing our base layers, we want them to be natural fibers. We want them to even be viscose or silk, but viscose works great. Viscose is nicknamed the poor man's silk, and I think it works great. And then over it is this particular fabric, and I don't remember what that fabric is. Sorry, you guys. I don't have these fabric names. But anyway, this also works great. And then you could put a coat on over it, or a wrap. You could even make, this fabric is, you could make a wrap that matched, or not. Okay, and then what I did is I made this sweater. I made this cardigan, I wore it. I had jeans on with it the night I did it. I had a little tank top that matched. Again, I did this monochromatic. So I've got my base layer on, I've got the tank top, I've got the cardigan. This new fabric that came in, it's a really light denim. It's 8609. And I did it, instead of doing the dark below, I did the light, and I love it together. I really, really like it. And these pants are the same ones I've got on. They're the 3426. And so I've got 1, 2, 3. If I wanted to put a coat over that, that's 4. So I've got my 4 layers there. Okay, the sweater is 85.94. Okay, so because I had this black turtleneck, 125, 101, those are both turtlenecks patterns. I could put this on top. And the wrap, just so you know it, the wrap takes the place of a coat. You can't do a coat and a wrap. So depending on how cold it is outside and what you're trying to do, you take a coat or a wrap. You can take a wrap with you, and then you're in a restaurant, you can take the coat off and put the wrap on. You can do that, but you can't really wear a wrap and a coat at the same time. So anytime I show you like a little wrap, like this, it's to go over a little turtleneck. Now you could put a coat over this. This is George's wrap, number 90. I love this. The fabric is 85.76. Okay, then we turn to this one. This is the cashmere. It's 85.66. And again, it can go over a black turtleneck. I can have base layers underneath. So just that wrap by itself is 3 layers. with underneath and the base layer. So you've got those 3 layers. So I just love this stuff. I just love it. All right, and then I made one more because I was so excited about, I really got into these cardigans. And I made this one shorter so I could do it under my coat. So this is 422 underneath. So you've got your base layer. And then this fabric, I don't know the fabric numbers. 85, I can't read, hold on. 85.97. This wine is everywhere. You know, this wine color is in the stores, the maroon, whatever you want to call it. It's really, really stylish. So again, you've got 4 layers already, but you look great. You've got the base layer, you've got this on top, you've got the cardigan, and then you can put your coat on top of that. You've got 2 layers with your pants, with jeans, whatever that is, and you're good and warm, and you look great. So we can absolutely do this, especially if we just think about it. How many layers do we want? And I think vests are a big part of it. You know, the POM, the pattern for October is a vest. It does have a sleeve in it, but that would work well under so many coats, and it would work well as a middle layer. All right, so let's answer some questions. See what you got, you all. All right. I may miss some of these, you guys. If I miss them, let me know. Sweater and socks, I love the layering. This makes, okay, I got that. I did get that one, okay. I could try on all these outfits. I swear, I'm in love with these clothes. It's so funny. Our house is well insulated. My house is really well insulated too, but cold is cold. You know, and it's the thought, somebody said to me, it's like double pane windows, how 2 thin layers of windows are better than the single pane. Well, and now they're doing 3 even. In some cases, they're doing 3. You are so right about how hot it is here in Florida. I just used my favorite warm weather styles and fabric content, but yeah, I know, I hear you. Maybe because just Southern California lightweight fabrics for layering. I don't think you need to layer. If you're in a climate where you don't need to layer, top and pants are good to go. But even like what I have on, if I didn't have my my base layers underneath, let's say I had no t-shirt on and I've got, you know, underneath here I've got leggings. I'm going to call them leggings, but they're viscose and they match. That yellow viscose that we've got is really cheap. It's perfect for base layers. We've got a light pink that would work well. But even if I wasn't looking to layer, I think a vest, these long vests, look really good. They're popular. They're in the stores. If you're in a warmer climate, Southern California, I don't think it matters. I think a long vest, you know, with this whole outfit, just looks terrific. I think it's important to put shaping in the back. You know me, I'm a kind of a belt or elastic fanatic. So I'm really a big believer in, you know, one thing about layering is you can just look like a polar bear. You can just get big. Keep it mindful of your shaping. I think the shaping is really important. What is the pattern number of the top you're wearing? 225. 225, it's the new one that came out for spring. Nita's top and the skirt. There's a skirt that goes with it, 225. Speaking of looking great, you look great tonight. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. That's nice of you. I saw purple fabric yesterday, but cannot find it in your fabrics. It's sold out. It's sold out. And typically, you guys, if I put fabric up one day and if it sells out that day, I'll leave it the next day exactly for this reason. So when you all can't find it, you don't think that it's sold and down already. But in this, you know, I was just up early this morning. I thought, oh, I'll just clean out all the sold out fabrics. And so I actually took it down. So it was sold out. Okay, so the letters do stand for collar. Okay, wait, sorry, I can't read this. Okay, so the letters do stand for collars, yellow, pink, and B. Oh, yes, back on that photo. Yes, let me go back to that, you guys. Let's see, that was picture. Let me go back to this. Okay, yes. So when you're talking base layers, I have a couple ways that I make base layers. The two ones I use are 195 and 115. And when I say 115, which is Anne's top, it's because Anne's top has a lowered neckline, and so sometimes I don't want that base layer to be as tight as what 195 is. 195 is a jewel neck. It's right up against your base of your neck. So I alternate back and forth between the two of them, between 195 and 115, just depending on the neckline. Or you could just use your French curve, whatever works for you. It doesn't make a difference. But those are the two patterns. 195, 115 is another one. 5019 is the leggings pattern. 5019 would work great for all your, all those base pieces. And then those fabrics, the colors are the yellow. There's a light yellow that's fabulous. It's 100% viscose. I think it's like $9.99. It's Italian viscose, y'all. And then 84, whatever the numbers are, I can't read them, is the pink. It's a light pink. And then 8403, that's a black. Now that one's not on sale. It's just a beautiful black viscose. So just in case you don't want your, and I think it's good to have our light base and our dark base. Obviously, you want more than one base, because for me, my problem was when I first started deciding I was going to put a base layer on in the winter every morning, I only had one. And so it was like, okay, I got to wash it. Like it was dirty more than it was clean. So that's when I figured out, hey, I think I need more than one base layer. Duh. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you got that. What is the pattern for the blouse you're wearing? The blouse I'm wearing is the fabric. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I do too know the fabric number. 8573. 8573 is the fabric, and 225 is the pattern number. Nita's sheared top. I don't know. It's got a skirt with it. I don't know the name of it, you guys. I just know it's 225. What pattern would work well for the Sherpa coat? Oh my gosh, I wish I had mine here. I made one. It's amazing. I love it. I don't know if y'all remember, we had different color Sherpa suede. And I made one that was yellow because I go skiing, and anyway, I wanted to have a Sherpa coat like when I did, and mine's yellow and it's beautiful and I love it. And I used there's a couple you can use. You can use 1829 Megan's. You can use the trench coat, 1929. You could use really many of them. Just cut them long or not, and just make them one size up from what you typically have. I love a vest. I do too. And vests are not something I really subscribed to a few years back, but I think I've gotten I've gotten a greater understanding, I'm going to say, as to how to wear them and what looks good. And long vests look incredible. A little bit of shape, worn open. They just look really, they're so flattering. Okay. Peggy, you do look great. Oh, thank you. You're going to copy my outfit? That's okay. That's the whole reason. Most likely we'll never wear it at the same time to the same place, right? It's okay. And it's just the black stretch denim and the Dolce Gabbana top. And that's the greatest form of flattering, is copying. And keep in mind, I copied somebody else. So would the base layer work if it were sleeveless? It does. It goes back to how warm you are. I'll never forget, I was in Southern California, and I had a class in Southern California, and one of the girls in the class, and I'm talking San Diego, one of the girls in the class was from Germany. And they were only here for a short period of time, and then they were going back to Germany. So it was cold where she lived, and everything was long sleeve. She wore sleeve on top of sleeve on top of sleeve. And so she basically, the reason she came to the workshop was to master the knit sleeve, the blouse sleeve, to the jacket sleeve, to the coat sleeve. so that she could really not feel like a stuffed sausage inside of these jackets. She really wanted the differences between them all to be exact. And y'all can do that. It's so easy to do that. It's just simply paying attention. When you go try something on, measure the circumference of the sleeves. We've got all those sleeve sizes in your patterns, and you can easily do this, and it's really comfortable, and it's warm. So you get both. It's really a great way to do it. So you can have, I think the base layers, keep in mind, they could be sleeveless, they could be sleeved, they can do both. You're going to have more than one base layer. So get your yardages, get them on sale, make a sleeveless, make a long sleeve, make a lowered neck. Those are all the options you want to exercise. Keep in mind, one pair of leggings will probably work, or not one pair, but I mean, you know, one style, leggings, period. Just all the way down to the ground, leggings. Even if you're wearing a dress, you're going to be wearing socks, you're going to be wearing boots. All of it's going to be covered up, so you don't need to do that. Milanos, what does that mean? What pattern is the wine cardigan? 915. Y'all, I kind of felt like I can't get out of my cardigan, my favorite cardigan. I mean, I just love this stinking cardigan. And let the sleeves get out of it real quick. I love this cardigan. I love the fabric. I think what I love more than anything is the fabric. But 915, I mean, I still remember the first time I saw Yugo's cardigan in the store, and I love this cardigan. I actually, when I made this cardigan, because I've been doing all this homework, I actually made the knit sleeve one size up. So this knit sleeve is a little bigger than my regular cardigan size. It's just so that I could wear it over a shirt. And recognize, I know it doesn't match. I am totally aware it doesn't match, but it's cute. You can wear it with a belt. Oh, I love it. I just love it. Oh, clothes, you guys. Clothes are so much fun. They're so much fun. And they're so much fun because there's so many just good things that you can do with them. All right. Awesome. Okay. So the wine pattern is, I think we got the fabric number. The pattern number is 915. It's Yugo's cardigan. What pattern is the pant you are wearing? It's 3426, the new pant pattern. 3426 Saks Slim Pant. The wrap comes with it. You know, this wrap, you guys, timber. This wrap is so cool, and I had to put it in a pattern, and the reason I had to put it in a pattern is because the shape of this thing is so unique, I guess is the best thing I know how to say. It's very, very different. You know, for a long time when we were doing wraps were square, rectangular, a hole cut in the middle, whatever. They were just, but they're not anymore. They're much more sophisticated, and I love them because what you can see with this is you can see that the front of the cape, actually becomes on the bias. So I'm going to kill my microphone, but see, you can put these up like this. You can wrap them around like this. There's just so many things that you can do with these. So this is when I said you can't wear a cape and a coat. I guess you could, but it's probably too much, unless you're just in a really, really, really cold climate. So 3426 is the answer to the question. Milano's jacket is a Sherpa jacket? Yeah, I think so. I think you probably, Milano's jacket, I know you don't know this, and you could probably get rid of it, but across the front yoke and across the back it has folds. You wouldn't want those folds in Sherpa, so you could fold up the tissue and get rid of those. But the rest of it, yes, could be great in a Sherpa jacket. Yes. Just anything that's really bulky, just leave it out. You know, you just don't need it. What fabric is the red wrap? That's the cashmere. The cashmere. I don't know the number. That red cashmere that we have. It's the blue-red cashmere. Okay. All right, you guys, you ready? You got it? You're going to dress warm. You're going to dress chic and warm. We want both. We want both things at one time. That's the goal. Well, pattern number is the blue black cape in the left hand. Oh, this is the cashmere is 8566, and it's the same pattern, 34. Again, because I couldn't, there's no way to give you the wrap dimensions. It's too odd shaped. I put it in a pant pattern. So, because pant patterns are kind of light as far as, how much tissue they take up. So I thought, well, if I put a wrap into the pant pattern, then you kind of get a little bonus. So that was my thinking. This is the pattern, and you can see the front lapel is on the bias. It's beautiful. And it takes 2 yards. 8566 is the fabric, 3426 is the pattern. Is the pattern. How about a big fur collar over a jacket? Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, and the beautiful thing with these furs, you guys, is you can make them removable. I don't know. Cindy and I were at the store. I can't remember when we did this, but it was for one of the PBS shows. I remember that. And what we did is there's a designer who does a lot of feathers, and it's very expensive. It's very, very expensive. I'm talking thousands of dollars up. And so Cindy made a little, those wristbands where you click them on and they wrap around your wrist? So she covered that with feathers. And what she did it in black. So you could wear a black sweater and then throw those wristbands on, and you'd have feathers at the bottom of your sweater. But it wasn't permanent. It was just temporary. You could do the same thing with the fur. Those wristband, you know what I'm talking about? Those metal things where they go straight, and then when you slap them, they kind of wrap around. I think she got a whole pack of them like at the dollar store. You could cover those with fur and do the same exact thing. You could just slap them on your wrist and have fur around some sweaters, but not have them there all the time. Anyway, just for some reason that came to my brain. Yes, but I think whenever you do fur, I think it's a good idea to have it removable. I don't know why. I think just because it changes up the look. It's a beautiful look, but you may not want it all the time. And just by, typically there's only like buttons at the shoulder seam, buttons at the front, and one button at center back. So there's typically only a few buttons. The buttons are actually on the collar itself. So the buttonholes are on the coat, so you don't really see them when you take it off. And it just makes a great combination. Okay, thanks for adding the cape to the pants pattern. I will use both. Good, I want you to use both. Slap bracelet. Oh, is that what it's called, that slap bracelet? That thing is so cool. I mean, there's so many creative things we were using them for. But anyways, like I said, Cindy came up with this idea. She just covered it in feathers, fur, whatever, and they're really cute. They're very, very cute. Slap bracelets are usually, you could use elastic. You're right, same thing. All right, you all, we are way past time. Like I said, I have way too much tonight. So I do remember, because I have a note in front of me, that you are supposed to hit the bell, ring the bell. You don't hit a bell, you ring a bell. Ring a bell, subscribe. I don't remember. I just had the note of the bell, but I don't know all that I'm supposed to say. Okay. All right, so thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. It's a lot of fun for me. I learned so much behind the scenes, and I just have so much fun sewing. I love to sew, and it's my great excuse to sew. All right, so we will see you Thursday night. Thursday night it's not a Q&A. I'm out of town, but we have a webcast for you, a little idea for you. The bracelet's a good idea. All right, you guys. So make a comment, share, like, all that stuff. Y'all know. Okay. Bye. Thanks for being here.